Hello, and welcome to the 187th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Brucker, and I'm coming to you live from Casa de Brucker today. We're going to be having another outstanding beer. Today, we're going to be having the Erdinger, I think I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Pikantus, which is a wheat bock, or a Weizenbock. So I'm really kind of excited because Erdinger makes some darn good beers. So let's go ahead and open it, and we'll talk about the beer as we pour it, okay? The beer clocks in at, the rating is 87 out of 100 according to Beer Advocate. And it clocks in at 7.3% alcohol by volume. And yes, we are pouring this into one beautiful Erdinger glass. We have the Erdinger for all you soccer fans. At the top is the soccer ball, and this is Russia here. And then, of course, over here for the Erdinger, we have Germany on the bottom, on the town there. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, when you think of a wheat or a bock, those are two different kind of beers, right? So let's kind of talk about the fact that a bock's usually a little bit heavier, darker type beer. A doppelbock for sure is a double bock. And then typically a wheat will be a lighter type beer. So this is kind of like a combination between a wheat, probably more darker wheat, plus it's got the dark malt. Now this beer, from what I understand, with my limited ability to read German, but it is a double fermented beer. So it's fermented when they make the beer, and then it goes through a secondary bottle conditioning with the beer. So what you get in this is a nice brown color with a slightly off-white head. It's got decent carbonation, so that's a good thing. This is the strongest beer that Erdinger makes. So when it comes to German beers, most German beers aren't real boozy, but at 7.3%, that's a pretty strong beer for a German beer, okay? So let's go ahead and smell it and see what we get here, okay? So I'm getting a wheaty, malty type combination in this beer. You get the scent of the alcohol, but it is very subdued. I expected it to come across a little bit stronger, but it's very subdued. Now this beer is especially made, this particular beer is made especially for festivals, okay, kind of like Oktoberfest type beer. This is made for other festivals, but it's a festival type beer, so which a lot of the German beers are. They're made for different festivals throughout the year, but this is definitely a festival beer. And what Bock means in German, it does mean strong lager. So when you have a Weizenbock, so it'd be a wheat lager combination, which is kind of nice. And I'm excited about having this because I actually, even though I've drank tons of the Erdinger beers, I've never had this Pikantus bottle condition stronger beer. So I'm really excited about trying it. So let's waste no more time. Let's talk about the taste here. Now that is a delicious beer. So what I like about it is you're getting like the dark, like wheat taste in there, like a Dunkelweizen. So at the beginning, you taste like almost like a Dunkelweizen from the wheat, the dark wheat. but it finishes like more like a Bock, like a stronger lager. So in the beginning, what kind of hits me is the dark wheat that you would get from a Dunkelweizen, but it finishes like a Bock. So honestly, it doesn't taste like 7.3% alcohol. It tastes much lighter than that, and it's something you could, it could kind of sneak up on you, I would imagine, because you do get the wheat flavor, but then you do at the end, there's like a lingering bit of alcohol on the end that kind of reminds you that you're drinking something that's 7.3% alcohol. What a fantastic combination, the way they made the beer with that Dunkelweizen beginning to the Bock type end. It's just a great combination and blend of the different styles. And I don't know, I'm assuming the bottle conditioning is helping with that secondary fermentation, where it's bottle condition kind of does that secondary carbonation in the bottle. So actually, just a phenomenal beer. And on here, you see it says bearish Edelreifens Weifach Cultivar. That basically just means Bavarian Noble. I think double fermented is what I think this one across here means. I have to brush up on my German. Although the family is from Germany, and we've actually been to Germany, where my dad's grandparents were from, in the Black Forest of Germany. It was a very, very cool trip. If you've never been to Germany, I recommend it highly, because not only do they have great beers, but it's just absolutely beautiful countryside. We took a trip from Basel, Switzerland, then we all the way up the Rhine to Amsterdam. But we also spent some days in the Black Forest, touring all the small little towns in the Black Forest, which was just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful and awesome. So anyway, make sure you check it out. Now, when you get to Germany, I'll give you a hint. If you ask for an Erdinger, especially down around the Black Forest, they're going to give you an alcohol-free beer. So make sure you say, you clarify that you're not getting an Erdinger alcohol-free beer, because that's not what I want, at least. If that's what you want, then obviously you can do that. But there was a little language barrier between the first bar I went to. I was trying to get Erdinger, and they're like, alcohol-free, and they were pointing at alcohol-free. I'm like, no, that's not me. Anyway. What a delicious beer. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy this beer, because this is, you get the extra bonus ounces, which I'm going to take full advantage of on this one. It's just a nice, beautiful beer. As you see, we've still got great carbonation throughout. Just a great beer. So if you haven't had Erdinger, check out the whole line of beers. I've never had a bad Erdinger beer. There's even some that are like limited release that they have at Hollerbach, Willow Tree Hollerbach in Sanford, Florida, where they have like special release Erdinger that you can't even get anywhere else in the world, even Germany. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you tell your friends about beer issues and how much fun we're having talking about good beer and drinking great beer. If you want any cool Beer Issues gear like hats, t-shirts, make sure you go to shop.beerissues.com. Make sure you tell a friend or 2 or 20 about Beer Issues. So we're trying to get our subscription numbers up, so one day the beer companies will actually send us beer to sample instead of me footing the bill for all the beer. It should be a nice thing. Now, I will admit, I do have some friends who bring me beer, and we'll be doing some upcoming issues on some beers that people have brought me. so we can add it to our repertoire of beers here that we sample. But tell your friends about it so we can get more people subscribed. So one day we can get our numbers up there as high as some of these other beer reviewers out there. That actually, several of them do watch beer issues because they just like to see what we're doing and how we're doing and how we're growing. But anyway, as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.